Konnichiwa minasama. Oh wait, I am roasting an Indian author today. So should I say namaste dosto? Anyway, namaskar dosto. We are going to begin today's video by answering 4 questions. Okay, so the first question is pretty deep. When do you guys think that the world ended this year? And I'm going to give you options. Don't worry. So the first option is when Dhruv Rathi decided to release his video talking about Dhurandhar and posting Delulu tweets that threatens to give us brain damage. Option 2 is Ashish Chanchalani's Ekaki turning out to be disappointing. Like, no offense, Ashish bhai. I love your content. I respect you as a content creator. Okay, I give A plus for the effort and the thought process behind Ekaki, but I do have expectations from Ekaki, and that is totally different from my expectations from your Vine videos. Why are you letting the content of your Vine videos bleed into Ekaki? Ekaki is supposed to be a horror comedy, and fine, it can be there with your Vines, but in a 50-minute video, you can't expect the audience to be happy with 45 minutes of jokes and just 5 minutes of the lore of Ekaki. I need to know the full story, and you releasing it in parts is really not helping. But other than that, I just love your content. And we move on to the next option, which is Netflix buying Warner Brothers, thereby ending the art of going to the theaters and witnessing great cinema. So, the answer is none of the above. You guys, the world ended on 1st October when Chetan Bhagat decided to publish his novel 12 Years. Which means you and I are living in the afterlife, and we need to accept the fact that the afterlife is not a peaceful place. Ready? Next question. So, why do you think I got the overconfidence to post my karaoke videos on YouTube? It's because of Neha Kakkar and Chetan Bhagat. Again, because Neha Kakkar, if you don't know, released a popular song called Lollipop. And I realized that, hey, if this song is anywhere near the popularity level of Dinchak Puja, then I think nobody is going to care if I murder the Japanese language. And as for Chetan Bhagat's 12 Years, the book is so terrible that it gave me brain damage. So I decided to upload karaoke version of anime intros. The next question is, how do you make an anime fan say Attack on Titan and Rent a Girlfriend in the same sentence? Very simple, guys. You just have to make them read Half Girlfriend and 12 Years. And just like that, our brains are toast. So we are going to chant in unison, Attack on Titan is comparable to Rent a Girlfriend. Okay? And the next question, which is the last one, and it is the most bizarre one. How do you make a stand-up comedian contemplate the idea of suicide or unaliving themselves? It's very simple. You just have to give them the book 12 Years and ask them to read only 100 or 50 pages of it. Not more than that. And even the most cheerful stand-up comedian you know will contemplate the idea of unaliving themselves. So, here is where the rant starts, and I'm warning you guys, it is going to involve a lot of screaming, maybe some cuss words, and maybe just a trigger warning about grooming and sugar daddies. So if you want to exit the video right now, then you can feel free to do so and tune up for my next review. But if you don't want any spoilers, that is also your reason to exit the video, because this is obviously a spoiler-filled rant or review or whatever you want to call it. Okay, let's get started. So, for those of you who know me, you know that I hate on Chetan Bhagat like how most people hate on Bigg Boss. They are a fun train wreck to watch or read, and criticizing them is a guilty pleasure, which all of us enjoy, right? But 12 Years has hit a new low. While Chetan Bhagat's books like Half Girlfriend or One Arranged Murder are bad, 12 Years is downright pathetic, because what is worse than a bad product is a plagiarized product. And 12 years feels like a plagiarized, paraphrased Love Ranjan film and a Wattpad story. Do you know how bad you have to be for me to acknowledge Wattpad as a writing platform? And 12 years is very predictable. Each and every plot point of this book is right there in front of you. But the only difference in 12 years is that the protagonist, Saket Khurana, is 33 years old, has undergone a divorce for 5 years, and since we know that divorce is pretty difficult because you need somebody to sign the papers, and his ex-wife refuses to sign the papers until she gets the insurance money, which is 80%. And Saket is just so tired of this. He is just like, okay, take my money and just leave me alone and please sign the papers. He is just like, stand-up comedy is my passion, so I am coming to Mumbai and I am going to do my first act. And I thought the biggest joke was that Chetan Bhagat trying to be a judge of a dance show, Nach Baliye. Or I thought the biggest joke was Chetan Bhagat trying to insert himself into his stories, giving his protagonist the advice on romantic relationship, which he himself created, and him establishing himself as a very dignified author. How delusional are you, Chetan Bhagat? Okay, I thought this was the biggest joke. Like, now do you believe me when I say that it's the end of the world because Chetan Bhagat tried his hand at stand-up comedy? Okay, and let me tell you what Saket's jokes are, okay? So, Saket says that, hey, there are push-up bras, but do you know what you call push-up bras in Hindi? Dhakka maar bras. You know, now I respect Siddhi from Four More Shots a lot more. Do you know how bad your set has to be for me to even say this sentence? But guys, I get it, okay? Integrating stand-up into a story is difficult because stand-up is essentially you telling parts of your story to the audience, unless you are doing something like sketch or improv or roast comedy or topical comedy. But on paper, writing stand-up and mixing it with a romance story is also difficult because the joke depends upon the way it is delivered. And on paper, you interpret it in your own way. So obviously, it is difficult for you to laugh. And also, the core of stand-up is a joke. So there are topics like dentists and airports that are abused by so many stand-up comedians that your brain is naturally adapted to make all permutations and combinations. So even if you hear a joke from another stand-up comedian on airports or dentists, you will feel like you heard it before, even though it is a new joke. And this is a challenge, right? So I wouldn't blame Chetan Bhagat entirely for it. And I also believe that Chetan Bhagat could have established something with 12 years because writing about stand-up comedy is something very new. Okay, there are very few pieces of media that show the struggles of a stand-up comedian. But no, guys, Chetan Bhagat does not know the C of comedy or the S of stand-up comedy, okay? He is a boomer who thinks that, oh, hey, kids these days are into stand-up comedy, so I should write stand-up comedy, okay? And I'm going to tell you why in just a few minutes. But guys, this book gets worse from here, okay? That's right. There is something worse than Chetan Bhagat writing stand-up comedy, and we are going to get into the crux of it. This pathetic piece of literature should not even exist, okay? You are better off watching De De Pyar De or De De Pyar De 2. Like, Maddie, you have nothing to be ashamed of because this book has our Saket Khurana, who is 33 years old, divorced, aspiring to be a stand-up comedian, go into a club, cracking the same pathetic airport jokes, saying that, hey, are you guys from business class or economy class? And obviously, since this is a Chetan Bhagat audience, they will be responsive. So they will say, economy class. And our heroine here, Payal, is like, hey, I travel in business class. And this guy, Saket is just like, oh, you must be daddy's princess. You're so rich. And Payal is just like, no, I do that for work. And Saket is just like, oh, okay, we will do improv comedy. And this bit made me respect Kanis Surkha more. Do you know how pathetic your improv has to be for me to respect Kanis Surkha? And anyway, Saket is just like, hey, I think I was too hard on Payal for the daddy's comment. Now, the problem is that Payal is actually 21. She is 12 years younger to Saket. And Saket is just like, oh my God, this is a problem. So they hit it off anyway. And the book progresses till Saket and Payal decide to meet Payal's parents. And do you know that Payal is actually an Orthodox Jain, which is kind of worse for our Punjabi Londa Saket Khurana. Now, here's the thing, okay, Saket Khurana is painted as your typical Punjabi Londa who is obsessed with bodybuilding. So he eats too much protein to build muscle and whatever, because Chetan Bhagat recently wrote a self-help book emphasizing the importance of fitness, right? But the thing is, I don't care how much you justify it, but in my mind, Saket Khurana cannot be hot, okay? Because you didn't do a very good job describing him. So, Saket and Payal immediately hit it off. And mind you, you don't feel any chemistry between these two leads, okay? Which is why you can't empathize with Saket when he and Payal break up, because Saket goes way too fast with Payal, okay? It's just one date and they are already hitting fourth base, and Payal is just like, bro, I feel really guilty for doing this with you. It happened in a spin of the moment. And Saket, being a creep, just texts her repeatedly, even after he is blocked, and Payal is just like, bro, please. And this is essentially grooming, okay? It is a straight up creepy depiction of what grooming would look like, because the characters don't act their age. Like, we are told that Payal is 21, but some of her dialogues make it sound like she is a 16-year-old. And we are told that Saket is 33, but some of his dialogues make him sound like he is a 50-year-old, which he eventually turns in the book. But guys, some of the scenes here and some of the dialogue exchange between the main leads reminded me of Metamorphosis. Again, do you know how creepy you have to write your scenes to remind the audience of Metamorphosis? And disclaimer, do not read this manga if you don't want to be traumatized for the rest of your life, okay? Now, Saket has a best friend called Mudit, and I thought Mudit is a sensible person. Mudit is a sensible person in the first half of the book, but in the second half of the book, Mudit becomes a very toxic best friend. Nobody should have a friend like Mudit, okay? And then we see Saket working on his stand-up comedy set, and everything is going well because he's a protagonist of the Chetan Bhagat book, okay? And so Saket's plagiarized, paraphrased stand-up comedian jokes are actually clicking well with the audience, so much so that he needs to open up and act and whatever. And then Payal is just like, okay, you know what? We are going to meet my parents. And the thing is, Saket is just like, okay, so we are going to just lie to your parents or whatever that and I are kind of close friends, since you're kind of getting engaged because your parents are Orthodox Jains. So it's natural you marry another Orthodox Jain. And then the thing is, Payal is like, hey, you know what? We should get it on before my parents come. They are going to be home by 1:30. Woman, how can you make this rookie mistake? When your parents say that they are coming home at a set time, they are going to be at least 2 hours earlier than the set time. And that's what happens in the book, okay? Payal's parents walk in on Saket and Payal having sex. Here's the thing, okay? Chetan Bhagat writes these really creepy roleplay scenes between our two main leads. And reading that, guys, I lost my sleep for a week. Like, what is Cough? What is It Welcome to Derry? What is Conjuring? Okay? This is straight up horror. Like, all of our critics are worried about toxic masculinity, Sean an animal or Dhurandhar or whatever. Okay? But no, guys, Saket Khurana is the definition of toxic masculinity. Okay? I would much rather prefer Randhajay from Animal rather than this pathetic main lead of a character, Saket Khurana, okay? So, Saket is just like, oh no, Payal's parents spotted me. Now, cat's out of the bag. We need to tell them the truth. So he tells him the truth. He is just like, listen, I'm 12 years older to your daughter, and we have dated for a year, and we are deeply in love with each other. And yes, I am divorced. And yes, I am aspiring to be a stand-up comedian, which obviously you guys don't think is a real job. And Payal is just like, yeah, but the thing is, since he's the protagonist of a Chetan Bhagat book, there must be some connection to IIT. And since Chetan Bhagat has this US fetishization, Saket has connections in the US, so he can establish a business or whatever. And at any time, he still gets offers. And Payal's parents are just like, bro, are you crazy? No, we are getting you married this instant, okay? And now, Chetan Bhagat would have written a compelling piece if he knew the essence of stand-up comedy. Okay, he could have written about how there is lack of freedom of speech, or how many comedians are getting arrested in jail, or how many comedians actually struggle to come up with creative material, and how a simplest joke can create a horde of controversies. Like, he could parody Samarana's story, but no, guys. Guess why Saket gets arrested? He gets arrested because he walks in on Payal's engagement drunk. So the police kind of lock him up for a day. And then the police are just like, hey, listen, we are Chetan Bhagat police. And since we kind of helped another protagonist in the girl of room 105, we are going to help you too. We'll just keep you in lockup for one day, and then you'll get released the next. Haha. And Saket is just like, okay, this is a losing battle. I can't be with Payal anymore. And she is kind of happily married or whatever. And, you know, he is still hung up on her. Okay. And this is where the book goes downhill. That's right, guys. The bar is in hell. At this point, I would like to go to hell myself so that I can watch this book burn to ashes, okay? Because after this, Saket is just like, listen, I am so hung up over my breakup with Payal that I can't write my stand-up sets anymore, so I'm quitting stand-up comedy. What? Chetan, I don't know if you know this, okay? Many of our stand-up comedians have experienced tragedies far worse than a breakup. Like Neville Shah lost his mother, but he still managed to write a stand-up set about that. Or any other stand-up comedian who have undergone a breakup managed to write sets about it. So this is literally nothing, okay? And if you take a shot at how many times Saket has given a misogynistic commentary or said, oh, these stupid girl logic or whatever, you will end up like Saket in the hospital because you got overdosed on alcohol and you hit your head somewhere and you are now bleeding out. Okay, like, if you want a logic that defies girl logic, I will give you something, okay? Here's what I have to say, Saket Khurana. I like it when two hot anime guys and two hot Thai actors just kiss on screen and get into a relationship with each other. What do you have to say about your girl logic now? Do you want a book that explains this phenomenon also? Like, honestly, this guy makes me so mad, okay? But do you know what Saket does after this? He goes to Dubai, opens his business, gets a startup, but he still thinks about Payal because he follows her Instagram or whatever, okay, through her best friend Akansha, who is essentially a housewife material or whatever, because I don't know who follows people who make housewife material stuff, but okay. And then Saket is just like, oh man, I can't get over her. I am just like any other Chetan Bhagat protagonist, except I have it worse. And so Mudit, being the world's worst best friend, is just like, bro, you know what? We need to hire younger women. We need to get good bodies. So Saket becomes a sugar daddy. Guys, I am not even making this up, okay? This happens in the book and this happens for a good chunk of 100 pages, okay? And it really is very, very disturbing, okay? Like, cringe and creepy are understatements when it comes to this because Saket tries to justify it to Payal when she is just like, hey, are you seeing someone new? Because we are kind of meeting after like what 5-6 years, right? And Saket is just like, yeah, I'm going out with this 24-year-old girl from Ukraine. And Payal is just like, what? And he's just like, guess what? She also is happy with me going out with another 24-year-old girl who happens to be a very close friend of hers. And Payal is just like, bro, this is wrong on so many levels, okay? I don't care if you're their sugar daddy or whatever, but this is not the way to get over from someone who you broke up with. And Saket doesn't realize it for some reason, and his justification makes no sense whatsoever, okay? And he is just like, bro, I don't want intimacy or whatever because, you broke my heart. And my ex-wife, by the way, Saket's ex-wife's name is Rashi. So, my question is this. Why didn't Saket involve a Rasode mein kaun tha joke and then entertain the audience with, haha, now guess what my ex-wife's name is? At least it would have made for a good joke in the entire stand-up set that this book is trying to establish, okay? And then, finally, Saket and Payal kinda get together, okay? How? Because apparently Saket's startup a business or whatever becomes very successful. Now, here's the thing, okay? I know nothing about business, but the 5 pages at which Saket becomes successful make no sense to me. Like, I know books writing about business are pretty boring, okay? And Chetan Bhagat is just like, anyway, my audience won't understand, but please, just show Saket struggling at anything else other than his love life. I would kind of appreciate it, okay? And so, he is just like, now I am the CEO of the company, so I'm going to do a closing party and I am going to write a stand-up set about it because Payal told me to do so. So, in his stand-up set, he says that I am the joke of my own life. My life is a big stand-up set. Saket, bhai mere, guess what? Veerdas said it better. He said that, hey, you think your God cannot tolerate my jokes? Trust me, he can. He created you. So, your monologue about, oh, I am the biggest joke in my life and my life is a big stand-up set doesn't hit as deep as you expected to, okay? And here the audience are just clapping at his pathetic jokes again. Oh my God, okay? And Saket gives an entire monologue about how, dentists only handle teeth and all. Guess who did it better? Jeff Gaffigan, okay? So, honestly, this is the most pathetic attempt at writing jokes. It's just like ChatGPT, but giving the worst prompt ever. And Chetan Bhagat being like, okay, yeah, we are going to publish this. And also, Payal walks up to him on the stage and just kisses him in front of the entire audience. And, this book has the worst epilogue ever, okay? I thought the worst epilogue ever was in Half Girlfriend. But no, guys, this takes the cake because turns out Payal, who is in her 30s, and Saket, who is in his 50s, have a kid together. And Chetan Bhagat thought, hey, I named this book 12 years because the main leads have a difference of 12 years. I will make my book deeper by making the protagonist meet after another 12 years. Like, you are lucky that Payal did not have any complications in the pregnancy and their kid Kabir is a healthy child, okay? And he is 3 years, mind you. So he is just like, oh, I like to tell jokes. And what jokes does Kabir tell? Your classic Times of India joke column jokes, okay? Like, bro, he is just like, do you know what the ocean said to the river? Nothing. It just waved. Get it? Because ocean has waves. I have one question for this kid, okay? Like, in case you happen to be a teenager, and if you see your dad cracking sex jokes on stage, what would your reaction be? Because by no means Saket Khurana is Amit Tandon. Okay, let's face it. He doesn't have the talent like Amit Tandon does to do clean comedy. So obviously, Saket Khurana is bound to crack sex jokes, okay? And the book just ends. Guys, I don't care how hot Chetan Bhagat makes out Saket to be, or if Payal says that, hey, Saket is a beast and my husband is a toothpick. You cannot be a sugar daddy unless you are Toji from JJK. Period. Okay? And being a sugar daddy is the most disgusting thing ever. Okay? Like, I can accept it in manga because manga goes places and it establishes the harmful effects it can have on the minor. But here, this guy being a sugar daddy does not make any sense to me. And Saket being this successful in stand-up comedy this quickly also doesn't make sense to me because Saket is not Karunesh Talwar or Akash Gupta. Okay, his material is lazy, so he should ideally be struggling a lot to even get a show. And you guys must be thinking, okay, listen, you've criticized the book enough, but do you think you can actually write a better story than whatever this train wreck of a book is? Answer, yes, I can. And guys, we are going to stick to basic corny Chetan Bhagat writing, okay? I am not going to put my own element into it. So, the book would have turned out like this if Chetan Bhagat actually knew what stand-up comedy is, okay? So, I wouldn't change anything about the first half of the book. Fine, Saket breaks up with Payal, their parents walk in on them having sex, whatever, okay? It's all cool. But Saket shouldn't go to Dubai. No, Saket should meet Indian stand-up comedians like Kenny Sebastian, Harsh Gujral, Veer Das, Karunesh Talwar, even Samay Raina works, okay? And it shouldn't be a problem to involve these stand-up comedians in your story since you didn't have any problem with involving Bill Gates in Half Girlfriend. So, ideally, it should be possible for these stand-up comedians to be a part of Saket Khurana's story. And Chetan, it won't kill you to write thank you to all these stand-up comedians who are a part of my story and who have played a role in the character development of my protagonist. These stand-up comedians would be like, bro, you just went through a breakup, big deal. We got arrested for so many days just for the controversies we created and we get trolled on social media every day. Can you imagine how hard that must be? So you need to get back on your feet and you need to write a set. And if you want, we can advise you to write a strong stand-up set. So Saket comes up with a brilliant set and also tries to send a message to Payal through that set. And it would have been beautiful if Chetan Bhagat was smart enough to write it, but you and I know that he's not smart enough to actually come up with a set like that. And so Payal would just feel heartbroken after seeing this and is just like, okay, fine, you know what, this guy still thinks of me, but it looks like he is doing well. And Payal's divorce story is kind of fine, I guess, because in a Chetan Bhagat story, no matter what happens, the main leads come together, except for Keshav's case because Zara is dead, but it's alright, guys, it's alright. So, Payal should have been one of the audience in Saket's stand-up set when Saket becomes a very big comedian like Veer Das, or when he becomes a judge of a comic stand show, because this is a Chetan Bhagat book for all I care, okay? So, if Saket actually comes up on stage and then cracks a set and finally he notices that, okay, maybe my joke is not funny enough because some of the audience are not laughing, but only one audience member laughs, and that would be Payal. And then maybe Payal can go and kiss Saket, and then the audience could just be like, oh my god, what even is going on? And then Saket would be like, okay, do I care? No. But I got Payal back, so I'm happy. And then they can live there happily ever after, okay? And the book would end there. There is no need for Saket to become a sugar daddy, and Mudit can be Saket's investor, but he should still be investing in comedy clubs or whatever, okay? The scenario cannot exist where Saket did not meet other stand-up comedians. When you're in stand-up comedy, you don't do solo business. You are bound to meet other comedians, and that helps you write your material. But of course, you wouldn't know this Chetan Bhagat, and that's why this book disappointed me, and that's why this book gets a rating of -5 out of 10, okay? So that's why 12 years gave me high blood pressure and sleep deprivation, and it might just be the worst book Chetan Bhagat has ever written, okay? This is the peak of my frustration with this book. So if you guys have made it till here, then I cannot thank you enough. You guys have nerves of steel. Again, thank you so much for being here and listening to my rant. I hope your eardrums are fine. I'll see you all in the next one. Take care.